Welcome to this Arnold Culliford knitwear tutorial on Jeny's surprisingly stretchy cast off. This is a fantastic method to use on edges where you're looking for some extra stretch. I'm thinking about things like the cuffs of toe-up socks, and here we're using them on the Flux hand warmers designed by Martina Baim for confident knitting. This edge here has been cast off using that method, and as you can see, the edge stretches just as much as the knitted fabric around it. But not only does it stretch, it also springs back really nicely too. The basic premise of this stretchy cast-off edge is that a yarn over is worked prior to each of the stitches. Before a knit stitch, a backwards yarn over is worked, and before a purl stitch, a normal yarn over is worked. You can therefore cast off any combination of knits and purls that you like. Just work the yarn over the right way round before the relevant stitch. Here we've used a knit one, purl one twisted rib to do the cuff of this thumb, and I'm not going to do knit through the back of the loop while I do this cast off because it's really not necessary. So our first stitch is a knit, and that means it needs a backwards yarn over. So the yarn's at the rear, and we're going to bring it over the needle tip and round to the back. You can tell it's been worked backwards because at the front of the needle is the left hand side of the stitch, the right hand side's at the rear, so that's backwards. Once you've worked your yarn over, you're going to knit that first stitch, and then you're going to lift the yarn over the knit stitch, and that makes the first stitch ready. You only need to do that process once at the beginning of the round for whatever your first stitch is. Our next stitch is a purl stitch, so we're going to bring the yarn to the front, over the needles and back to the front again, so that's our normal yarn over, and we purl the next stitch. And now we're going to lift over the yarn over and the previous stitch. So we've lifted up two, and they're both going over the purl stitch I've just worked. The next stitch is a knit, so we're going to work a backwards yarn over and then knit that stitch. And then we're going to lift the yarn over and the previous stitch over. It's a purl, so come to the front, over and round for a normal yarn over. I'm going to purl, and then we're going to lift over both the yarn over and the previous stitch. Next stitch is a knit, so we're going to go backwards yarn over, knit the knit, and lift both the yarn over and the stitch over. And you continue to work in that way all the way round. I'm coming to the very end of my cast off edge, so I've just got a knit and a purl left to do. So before the knit, we've got a backwards yarn over, knit one, and then we're going to lift both over. And then before the purl, normal yarn over, purl, and we're going to lift both of those over. And now to finish off, we're going to do so in the classic way, breaking the yarn, and then I'm just going to wrap it round, take it through and pull the final stitch to finish off. We'll then use this tail to weave in to join it to the beginning of the round there, but just have a little look at how nice and stretchy that thumb top is. To weave in the ends, I've threaded my tail onto a blunt tapestry needle, and then I'm just going to go under the two legs of the stitch from the beginning of the round, pull through, and then I'm going to go back down into the final stitch of the round, and that creates a little fake stitch, if you like, joining the two ends. There is a little bit of a hole there, so I'm going to weave in the ends behind it on the wrong side just to join it up. Go through that a couple of times. And as you can see, that's made the hole disappear. And then I'm just going to weave in the ends down the back of a column of knit stitches as I normally would. I hope you found that video of Jeny's surprisingly stretchy cast off helpful, and that you'll be able to use it on lots of projects where you need a super stretchy edge. We're able to keep all of our video tutorials free from adverts thanks to the support of our customers. You can click the link up here to head over to our online shop, where you'll find all sorts of books and yarns that'll help you learn new techniques and gain confidence in your knitting. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel with the button down at the bottom here. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye bye.